touched my forearm this morning and my fingers came away red. Not from a cut, from a scar I've had since I was 7. A scar that belonged to my grandmother first. This is Hollow Thoughts. I need to explain this carefully because I know how it sounds. My grandmother had this scar on her left forearm, a keloid, raised and thick, running from her wrist to her elbow in this jagged line that looked like lightning frozen in skin. She got it when she was young. She never told me how. When I was 7, I woke up one morning and there it was on my arm, in the exact same place, the exact same shape. My mother saw it and went very quiet. She didn't take me to a doctor. She didn't ask me what happened. She just looked at my arm for a long time and then said, "You have her skin." I didn't understand what that meant then. I think I'm starting now. The scar never hurt. It was just there, part of me. I grew up with it the way you grow up with a birthmark or the color of your eyes. People would ask about it sometimes, and I'd make something up. A childhood accident, a fall. It was easier than explaining I didn't know where it came from. But 3 weeks ago, it started to itch. Not a normal itch, a deep one, like something moving under the tissue. I'd wake up in the middle of the night scratching at it, half asleep, and in the morning there would be these red welts around the edges where my nails had dug in. I put lotion on it. I tried not to think about it. Then it started to swell. The keloid got thicker, darker. The skin around it felt hot to the touch. I thought maybe it was infected. Maybe I'd scratched it too hard one night and introduced bacteria or something. I made an appointment with a dermatologist, but the morning of the appointment, I woke up and there was blood on my sheets. The scar had split open. Not torn, not like I'd injured it. Split, like a seam coming undone. I sat there staring at my arm, at this neat little line of red welling up along the length of the keloid, and I thought about my grandmother. I thought about the last time I saw her before she died. I was 16. She was in the hospital. Pneumonia, they said, but she looked like something had been eating her from the inside out. She was so small in that bed. I remember holding her hand and feeling the scar on her arm under my fingers. It was wet. I pulled my hand away and there was blood on my palm. I looked at her arm and the scar was bleeding, just like mine is now. Slow, steady, like a wound that never healed, just waited. The nurse came in and cleaned it up. She didn't seem surprised. She didn't seem concerned. When I asked what was wrong, she just smiled and said, "Old wounds." But my grandmother's eyes were open. She was looking right at me, and she said, "It's your turn now." I thought she was confused, delirious from the medication. I didn't think about it again until 3 weeks ago. Now, I can't stop thinking about it. I didn't go to the dermatologist. I know I should have, but something stopped me. I think it was the fear that they'd look at my arm and tell me there was nothing there, that the blood I was seeing wasn't real, that I was doing this to myself somehow, unconsciously, the way people do when their minds start to fracture. Because that's possible, isn't it? Psychosomatic wounds, stigmata. The body manifests what the mind can't process. I've been reading about it late at night when I can't sleep, about how trauma gets stored in the body, how it can pass down through generations, genetic memory, cellular inheritance, how the things that happen to us change our DNA, and those changes get passed on, how my grandmother's pain could literally be coded into me, how her wounds could become mine. It makes sense. It makes too much sense. I find myself staring at my arm for hours now, watching the blood seep through the bandages I wrap around it every morning. I change them 3-4 times a day. The blood is always fresh. It doesn't clot the way it should. It just keeps coming, slow and rhythmic, like a heartbeat. I started noticing other things, little things. I'll be standing in my kitchen and suddenly I don't recognize where I am. Not because the room looks different,
but because I feel different in it. Like I'm standing the way someone else would stand, holding my hands the way someone else would hold them. I caught my reflection in the bathroom mirror last week, and for just a second, I saw her face instead of mine. My grandmother's face, younger than I ever knew her, but unmistakably hers. Same eyes, same mouth, same expression. I blinked, and it was me again, but the feeling stayed.
This sense that I'm wearing my own face like a mask, and underneath there's someone else looking out. I called my mother. I asked her about the scars, about what she meant when she said I had my grandmother's skin. There was a long silence on the other end of the line. Then she said, "You shouldn't think about this. Not that I was wrong, not that I was imagining things, just that I shouldn't think about it." I asked her if her arm ever bled, if she had the scar too. She hung up. She hasn't answered my calls since. That was 4 days ago. I think she does have it. I think she's had it her whole life, just like me. I think that's why she won't talk to me. Because if she admits it, she has to admit what it means. That we're not entirely ourselves. That we're carrying something forward. Something that refuses to die. Something that lives in our skin and waits for its turn. I've started talking to myself differently. I'll catch myself mid-sentence and realize I'm using words I don't normally use. Phrases that sound like they belong to someone older. My grandmother used to say, "mind you," at the end of statements. I never picked that up. But yesterday I was talking to the cashier at the grocery store and I said it. "Mind you," just like that, like it was the most natural thing in the world. The cashier didn't notice, but I did. I stood there in the parking lot afterward, holding my grocery bag, and I couldn't remember what I'd bought. I couldn't remember driving to the store. I looked down at my arm, and the bandage was gone. The scar was exposed, red and wet, and I didn't remember taking the bandage off. I don't know how long I stood there. Long enough that the sun changed position. Long enough that when I finally got in my car, the seat was adjusted wrong. Too far forward, like someone shorter had been sitting there. I'm not sleeping anymore. Or maybe I am and I just don't remember it. The days are blurring together. I'll be sitting on my couch in the afternoon, and then suddenly it's 3 in the morning and I'm standing in my bedroom with blood on my hands. Not a lot of blood, just enough to notice. I wash it off and try not to think about where it came from. Try not to think about what I was doing during those lost hours. Try not to think about the way my apartment feels different now. Smaller, like the walls are closing in, or like I'm expanding to fill them, becoming more than I was. Becoming what I was always supposed to be. I found a photo album yesterday. I don't remember owning a photo album, but there it was, on my coffee table, open to a page I don't remember looking at. Pictures of my grandmother, young, maybe in her 20s, standing in front of a house I don't recognize, wearing a dress I've never seen. But her expression, I know that expression. I've seen it in the mirror. I tore the page out. I don't know why. I just needed it out of the album, out of the sequence of images that was trying to tell me something I didn't want to understand. I crumpled it up and threw it away. But this morning it was back, smoothed out, tucked into the frame of my bathroom mirror. I live alone. I know I live alone, but I'm starting to wonder if alone means what I think it means. If the space inside my head is as private as it used to be. If the thoughts I'm having are entirely mine, or if I'm just the latest version of something that's been thinking the same thoughts for generations. The scar stopped bleeding yesterday. I should be relieved, but I'm not, because when I look at it now, it's different, deeper, more defined, like it's settling into place, like my skin is finally accepting what it was always meant to carry. I touched it this morning and it didn't feel like scar tissue anymore. It felt like a seam, like something that could be opened, and I had this thought, this terrible thought. Maybe it's not a scar at all. Maybe it's a door, and maybe my grandmother has been waiting on the other side for a very long time, waiting for the blood to thin the barrier enough, waiting for me to stop resisting, waiting for me to understand that this was never about inheritance. It was about replacement. I don't know who I'm going to be tomorrow. I don't know if I'll remember writing this, but if you're listening to this and you have a scar you can't explain, one that showed up without injury, one that runs in your family like a name or a nose, maybe check it tonight before you go to sleep, just to make sure it's still closed, because some wounds don't heal. They just wait for better soil. If this stayed with you, if it made you think about what might be written in your own skin, leave a comment. Tell me what you carry that isn't entirely yours. And if you want more stories that live in the space between memory and madness, subscribe to Hollow Thoughts. Some legacies aren't meant to end. Sometimes they're meant to continue, whether we want them to or not.